Sai Zangoku bringing you a movie review, even though no one really gives a shit about my movie reviews. I watched the movie Suicide Squad. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, and I know that there has been a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of bad critical reviews, some kind of positive reviews from fans, and then a whole lot of just reviews in the middle. And so I thought, hey, you know what? I will interject my 2 cents into this whole thing and get about 20 views and probably 32 dislikes. How does that happen? How can I get more dislikes than actual views? Anyways, so Suicide Squad. Let's just start out with the basic plot. So after the death of Superman, wink, wink, the government is trying to figure out what can they do just in case another meta-human like Superman decides to go all apeshit crazy. Well, this one lady has a brilliant idea. Well, why don't we get these other crazies that are really bad people and get them to fight the other dude, the meta-human. And if they die, whatever, you know, they were bad guys to begin with. And if they win, we can just you know, totally shuffle them back into prison and claim that, yeah, our government, we're keeping you safe. Yeah, Superman who, what, whatever. You know, and of course, during all this time, where the hell is Batman? Oh, I know, Batman's in a bunch of flashbacks. And maybe a post-credit scene. Spoiler, I don't know. Anyways, so they decide to find some really bad people with some interesting abilities. I don't know why Harley Quinn is part of them, because she really doesn't have any interesting abilities, unless crazy is an ability. But then again, sex appeal definitely is an ability that is sorely lacking in this movie if it weren't for Harley Quinn. So I guess there you go. So they get these people, they profile them, they assemble the team, and of course, something bad happens and they need to use the team. Wow, how does that happen? It's like it's conveniently plotted that way. So yes, something bad happens, some bad guy gets loose in the city of Midway or Midtown or whatever, Midway, I don't know, it's like what? Like DC, just name your cities like cities. I mean, just Metropolis, Gotham, Midway, Smallville. Please. I mean, so is Midway, Midtown between Gotham and Metropolis? Because I thought there was only like a bay in between Gotham and Metropolis, kind of like they were San Francisco and Oakland or something. But okay, whatever. Anyways. So they say, okay, it's time to release the squad. And of course, the squad is tasked with destroying whatever is causing all this ruckus, right? No, actually not. No, they're just there to rescue an HVT, which for any of you who don't know what that means, it means high value target. Yes, they're only there to rescue some important who-da-ba-do, what-da-ba-do, somebody big shot, whatever. And that's it, not engage in the enemy and all that other stuff. So honestly, I'm going to give you a little spoiler. Something goes wrong, and they end up having to fight the big bad anyways. Which makes me wonder what the hell would have happened if they rescued the person and the thing that went wrong didn't go wrong. Would that have been the end of the movie and the world would have ended? Because honestly, everything in a comic book movie now has to be the end of the freaking world, because, you know, just stakes can't be low. We can't just have like a Deadpool movie where the stakes are just revenge. And oh yeah, by the way, we do take out like a really asinine jackass piece of shit. Also, you know, bonuses. You know, life has its perks, right? No, it's always got to be like, oh yeah, you know, destroy all the world's armies and enslave humanity and, you know, all that good stuff. So, yep. So, once again, where is Batman and Wonder Woman during this cataclysmic, almost world-ending situation in Midtown, Midway, whatever they want to, whatever, Middleville? I don't know. So, So you probably can tell that I am just a little bit annoyed by the ridiculousness of the plot. The plot is all over the place a little bit. So we start off with the guys in prison, and each member sort of gets a little mini origin story. Not really. It's more like how they got caught, with the case of Deadshot and Harley Quinn, how they got caught by Mr. Batman. But the other ones, you really kind of just get like a little short thing. It's like, hey, you know, there's Boomerang. This guy is a criminal. And, oh yeah, there's Killer Croc. He's just an ugly crocodile-like flesh-eating man. And, oh, here's, what is it, El Diablo. He's Pyro from the X-Men, but not, because, you know, Marvel. And you really just kind of, you really don't get a lot of story with some of these characters. You get these brief shots. I know they did a little bit into El Diablo's storyline, which I thought was necessary because it did kind of fuel what was going on with his character. But it just, the movie itself felt like it was just a whole bunch of pieces put together, slapped on kind of haphazardly. Kind of like how I make my videos. Yes, except they spend hundreds of millions of dollars on that and get money back, while I spend $1.50 and get no money back. So I guess, you know, investment. Right. So, anyways. So, yeah, I guess let's get to what I like about the movie. What I like about the movie is the characters. I like the characters. The characters are interesting, even though a lot of them don't have a lot of depth behind them because you just didn't have enough time to kind of develop these characters. But for what they were doing and what they were in this film, they were enjoyable. Their lines didn't take away anything from what was going on. There was no real bad acting among them. They felt like comic book characters, and they were in a way believable and understandable and somewhat likable, even though they're all really murderous, psychotic evildoers. Well, maybe not Deadshot. He's just, you know, a merc who will kill you if the price is right. No women, no kids. Oh, wow, The Professional. Now, that's a great movie about a hitman. So, outside of that, like, the story, like, they try to do a job with the story that makes the villains, the bad guys who are now the heroes, seem more sympathetic by showing them being tortured while they're in prison, being disrespected by the quote-unquote good people in the movie, being controlled and manipulated. And honestly, there's a parable in there about you know trying to control evil people, because the evil people, you know, sometimes it's in their interest to do good, but most of it is about them and their own self-interest. And if that is in odds with saving the world or doing the right thing, they are definitely going the other way. And in a way, it makes the good guys look like bastards and evil jackasses too. And they played that a little bit too hard. And it felt like, do I really care if the world is saved? If these are the good people, and these are the bad people are sort of likable, but the good guys aren't likable? You can kind of get what I'm saying. The main army special operative just acts like a complete ass for a lot of the movie, and I can understand why. I mean, you know, I'm not... You got these bad guys. You're not gonna give them like respect and treat them like human beings, because if they had their way, they'd be killing you. They'd be putting 2 shots into your head and probably defiling your body later. Killer Croc would probably just eat you, and you know they are assholes. And I don't know if they did a good enough job showing that they are assholes, because in the end of the day, yes, you're supposed to like them, but they also, you're supposed to understand why they have to be caged like animals, because they can't be in regular society. They can't be in a regular lockup because they're just way too volatile, way too insane, way too violent. And I think it's the movie kind of sends a bit of a mixed message, and in the end, you're sort of like not rooting for anything, really. You're just, at least in my opinion, I just didn't feel like I could get behind what was going on, except for, okay, save the world, because I can put myself in that position. I'm living in the world. Yes, the world has some crappy people. Yes, it's pretty bad sometimes, but I kind of do like to live, and I don't want the world to be destroyed or under the oppression of some sort of megalomaniacal being. So yes, okay, I'm on board with that. But the whole person that they were trying to save and stuff like that, no, I wasn't really on board with that. And plus the execution, the action, there's really no moments in this movie that just sort of stand out. And you know, the thing is, like with Batman v Superman, there are scenes that stand out, maybe for the wrong reasons, like Martha, why did you say that name? I mean, that stands out. You remember it. I mean, it might be because it's bad, but you still remember it. Of course, you also remember Batman kicking some serious ass while trying to save Martha. With this movie, just nothing really stands out. Like, the dialogue is all right, but in some of the movies, the moments are chuckle-worthy, but there wasn't anything like in, let's say, like Civil War, where you have this cool moments of levity because of the humor that sort of, you know, relaxes you during the action and the seriousness. I mean, I'm watching the movie, and yeah, some of the parts I'm just kind of like, okay, let's get on with this. And some of it's like, okay, you know, I'm starting to feel it, but there's just never that moment where I'm just like, yes, there's a memory moment. I mean, honestly, like, the movie felt like it was a video game in ways, because it's like, oh, okay, we're on the street level now, and okay, we're going into the building saving hostages level, and now it's the final boss, and the final boss is doing like everything, and then the way the main villain eats it is rather anticlimactic, and it feels really kind of silly and like, Hollywood, yeah, we gotta like do a Hollywood thing, yeah, this will feel good. First of all, you know, it's girl power and power of friendship and all that other stuff, when it's like, no, I'm pretty sure in that situation, most of those people would be doing something different than what they were doing. So, I mean, they didn't really sort of develop outside of Deadshot any kind of feeling of humanity and fighting for good or any justice or things like that. So it kind of fails in that moment. And it's not like the movie was horrible. The problem is the movie just was, which is really disappointing, because they had elements, if they could have like figured out what they were doing and maybe created a better like story and plot, because the whole story when they're in the evacuated city, it felt just shallow and uninspired. So yeah, it's strange. I can totally understand why it's getting bad reviews. But on the other hand, I can still understand why people can find it enjoyable, because there is enjoyable parts in this movie. The thing is, the whole movie itself is not very good. I like the characters. I would like to see them more developed. I would like to see them in something better. And I would like to see them, you know, more, act more like, you know, how I would expect them to act in certain situations. And the Joker, I don't know about this Joker. I mean, some of the things he does, yeah, but like the voices, the voice he uses, I mean, I don't know. It's really mixed on that guy. I don't know. Jared Leto, I don't know. I mean, he's got crazy, but I just wasn't feeling it for the most part. And so that was disappointing. honestly, the movie itself is disappointing because it could have been so much better. However, it does have some decent action. I do like the characters. The acting is fine. The movie was okay. I mean, it's not horrible. If you're a fan of DC and you're a fan of the comics and you want to see these characters brought to life, I think it does a decent job of bringing the characters to life. It just doesn't do a decent job of creating a story around them. And that's the major flaw. So, and this is the thing, it's like, I don't want to give this like a bad score because I don't think it deserves to be completely trashed. And so, man, Suicide Squad. Is that one of these things that's worth watching in a theater? And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know. It might actually just be a rental. I mean, I'm going to probably purchase it just to have it in my collection, but you know, I'm struggling. I am struggling to think what would be a score, because I did enjoy myself. It wasn't like, oh my god, please leave. It wasn't like there wasn't any moments, call it, where I actually considered walking out of the film. There wasn't anything like that. So I don't know. There's just, I'm gonna give it a 3 point. I can't. There was nothing in this movie that just made you go awesome. And unfortunately, the movie just is just a movie. It's you know, some bright characters. I'm gonna give it a 2.9, and I'm giving it 0.4 points over 2.5 just because of the characters and the acting for the characters. But you strip that away, this movie is just bland. It's just bland. It feels standard. It doesn't feel very superhero-ish. I don't know. I mean, you could say, well, hey, they're doing something different. Well, maybe, but it didn't have that wow factor. It didn't have that pizzazz. It didn't have that thing that grabbed you. It didn't have a moving storyline to touch you. It didn't have any moving action pieces to touch you. It didn't have any like just wonderful drop on the floor laughing moments that some of these films can do at a drop of a hat. Just like, you know, one quickly timed joke, boom, creates a wonderfully memorable moment. This movie just feel like it didn't have these moments. And honestly, I'm struggling to remember anything that I can say that was like, yeah, this was a moment that I could talk about. But honestly, I can't, and that's the problem. Suicide Squad, oh my god. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Am I wrong? Are my complaints not valid? Or do you agree? Do you think that the movie itself is kind of a mess and that they really mishandled it? And these characters, while good and interesting, and they just deserve a better movie to be in? I mean, that's just me. I mean, I feel really conflicted about this movie because I wanted it to be really good, and there's parts there, and it feels so flat, and that's the problem. I want the DC universe to be fun and entertaining. That's just me. I'm crazy. So, I'm Zankoku. Thanks for watching my video. Subscribe if you like, you know, there's that subscribe button, view more, check out my channel, things like that, I don't know, whatever. And to the 40 people who watched this, especially all the way to the end, awesome, Excelsior! And yes, it is August. Less than 2 months away from October. You all know what that means. More on that later. Stay sexy, Internet.